this is a nice little one. I'm expecting the front wheel to slip out here. It's almost, you know, this is probably my favourite time of the year to ride in terms of just the view, but it's also one of the worst times of the ride for debris on the road, and because it leaves and everything, but also off-road, off-track. It's always a challenge because the leaves add to that slippiness, I suppose, but especially when they start rotting down. But they also, especially when they're freshly down, they obscure the actual proper hard-ish track beneath. So you think you're on a level bit or a flat bit, and all of a sudden your front wheel dunks down, or your front wheel slips into a rut or whatever, you know. So it's one of those things. Just got to be, always got to be a little bit careful. This is nice down here. It's weird because it looks like some private factory or private business park. Very, very odd. Okay, so this is now back onto a road. And this is now onto another byway bit. That's what I mean by, you know, these leaves obscuring the path. You've just got to be, pick your way a little bit and really look at the best route to go. No, it's not that I don't want to go through the mud, I just think that, yeah, so my back wheel just slid down there very, very easily, a bit too easily, you know, you would have thought. There you go, right, coming back up again then. Now just go on to the next bit, go up, then go left and then go right. Okay, this is what I said when I did this in the summer. You know, I wouldn't say it was that much better than what we just did now. Really, I mean, it was all right. It was. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's a footpath, I think, that one. Or is it? That's a no, that's a byway as well. Right. Okay. So. They shouldn't have that gate closed. Very naughty people. Shouldn't have that bloody gate closed because it's a byway. So there we go. Got another one here. Let's get one here. Quiet. So it's interesting. I've got to look into the legalities of this, but sometimes you have the blue sign that says unsuitable for motor vehicles, but it doesn't specify which motor. It doesn't say all. You know, is that just, that's, you know, these are just information signs. They're not actual mandatory signs. So I think, you know, I'm pretty sure. So here, look, this is a byway, but it's kind of restricted the width. It's saying, well, look, you know, you're not going to let vehicles go, and that's why they've got these bollards in. So this, you can definitely go down. Okay, no problem at all. And I'm confident about that. This is nice. So again, a little bit slippery, but it's actually, you know, it's hard. I can tell that it's hard underneath, and I can tell it's largely, you know, dry-ish. You know, when I say dry, I mean it's not just, you know, a foot full of sludge and going through really deep ruts and see that? There we go. Look, so that's another byway. There we go. So that is one that I haven't been to. Oh, there So they shouldn't. It's saying no cars. Well, that's interesting. No cars, but can they do that? I don't know. Maybe they can. Do you know what? Don't really know. You know, I wonder who actually. I suppose there's a council that's responsible for all these, isn't they? So the council would dictate, you know, which ones you can go down, which you can't go down, and they'll impose restrictions as they see fit. So yeah, I suppose that's fair enough. You know, it doesn't bother me if you can't go down there. And you know what? Looking at it, it's probably the right decision anyway, because it is quite narrow. You know what I mean? I mean, not for a bike, of course, but I was just talking about the wider thing. Contact. This is just nice around here. I like it. I like it a lot. So basically, this takes me out to the main road again. I don't know what it is, but you know, a lot of the tracks have been on today. They're very sleepy hollows. You know what I mean? Almost expect the headless horseman to come running, you know, galloping, you know, towards me a little bit. Just very, very odd. Very odd. So I'll just go to the end here, and then I'll sort of double back where I need to come. The birds got pissed off that I've come to disturb their peace. There we are. I won't have to go on the main road, I'll just double back here. You're going to do off-roading, always wear a pair, but I'm not saying wear the big motocross boots and everything, because I'm not. I'm just wearing, you know, a bit hobnail boots. That's what I tend to wear. A lot of cover my ankles, that kind of stuff, but just something with a bit of grip, a bit of tread, because you know you're going to be having to push your bike and, you know, reverse your bike a little bit, you know, when you go to those points, and you don't want something with a smooth sole. You know, you need something that's going to grip the earth and dig into the earth a little bit, just like the tyres should be off-road tyres. But guess what? I'm not. I haven't got them. Yeah. So nice. Not like this today. Oh, good. It's all good stuff. Right, okay, just gonna keep on mosey on down here. But the great thing about, you know, coming on these tracks, and I always say it before, you're out in nature, and you're out in nature, and you're experiencing something new. You're not doing any harm to anybody, and it's very tranquil, very peaceful. And I just can't think of anything better to do if you've got a couple of hours spare. You know, okay, yeah, you can read a book or do something like that or whatever, but you know, just, I mean, on your bike, you know, it's great. I love it. I absolutely love this. Right. Around here. So here's another one coming up where it divvies up again. There we go. So this part of the byways, which I'm doing today, is from memory is all pretty groovy. What isn't groovy is the other part, which is, I've got to say, a bit of a pain in the arse. And that was in the summer. So let's just see what it's like in the winter, shall we? Because I've got a feeling it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Now, what I don't really want to do is just come back. See, I don't want to go on the road really, per se, at the end of this, because you have to go back on it. So what I might do, instead of going on the road, I just double back. It's just nice round here, look. Yeah, see, it's quite clay soil here. Quite clay, and it's you know, clay soil when it's wet, it kind of really poor drainage, so it just, you know, it just stays, it maintains that moisture, and it's really slippery. Whereas sandy soil or loam soil, we'll get very geography here, aren't I? But because you know, it's kind of, well, it's that sand-like texture, you know, it's crystalline type. It's better drainage, you see, and the soil particles don't stick together. So it's a lot easier, you know, to ride on. So clay soil, so you know, you kind of have to start to know your soils a little bit when you're starting to ride off-road as well. You know, just bear that in mind, that you could, you know, have an off just by thinking it's one soil, but it's not, it's another. And also soil changes as well. You can have a loam soil or sandy soil, more of a, you know, a loam soil is a mixture between a sort of clay and a sand soil, and then the sand soil is what it is. And then, no, you don't want it too sandy, because you know, you've got nothing to grip onto really, and you don't want too clay, because you're slip and slide all over the place. So a bit of both, you know, it's a bit like agriculture really. Loam soils are, you know, some of the best that you want. Right. Oh, didn't want to do that, did I? Hill now, so it's just had to stand up on the bike there and sit back down again, just adjust myself. There we go. So that's why I want a bit quiet. Okay, right, so coming back up the hill, and instead of going to go back up the road to double back to rejoin this byway, I've just doubled back on this byway here, up the hill again. Not much of an incline, I gotta say. Bit of loamy, bit of clay soil, a bit boggy in places, so again, back of the cautious head on again, and just making sure that the bike keeps on rolling through. Okay, this bit is fine. So on top here, in fact this is really fine, this is nice. Again, because it's, you know, mid-morning on a Monday morning, nobody about, it's nice, I gotta say. You know, this is, you know, when you want to go and do this sort of stuff, I tell you what, this is the time to do it. It really is. This is definitely the time to do it. Okay, so when you come up, now here's one of the other things. Okay, again, you can see the byway, there is a restriction, but not for motorcycles, just the width of, you know, vehicles going through. So obviously cars, tractors, lorries, that kind of thing. Can't get through, but guess what? Yay, bikes can, which is always nice. Got the cyclist coming back round. Hello. So usually the people on these byways, they know the score. They know it's perfectly legal for you to do this. Sometimes, I think that first lady we saw with the dog, she seemed to be right drunk, didn't like it that we were there, or that I was there. You know, tough, basically. Absolutely tough. Right, so... I think that this other byway is right here, I think. Yes, here we go. Okay, so it's just a width restriction again, but not for us. Keep it going. Well, not for me, I should say. What am I talking to the third person for? Right, there we go. Yeah. This is nice. Oh, lovely. Yeah, so I came here during the summer and it was really badly rutted. Not this bit, I think a bit further on. And we might come into it in a minute actually. And it's, okay, it's a very short stretch, but it's a stretch nonetheless that you think, oh blimey, you know. you kind of lulled into a false sense of security here because you're on this bit. You think, yeah, this is really cool. I like that. There's a nice little nature reserve. Yeah, this is really cool. Yeah, no worries. And then you get to the other bit. And you think, oh fucking hell. Wasn't expecting that one. So now, whether they've sorted it out, whether come to level it off and stop people going there, it's all compacted down now, I do not know. So we'll soon find out, won't we? We'll soon find out. I mean, it might actually not be as bad as I thought it was because of of it. But there you go. So I can see up ahead. I can see something. Just see what this is. Do you know what? I think they flattened this out because last time there was massive big truck ruts, and it seems as if like tractors have been down here. It wasn't 4x4 sort of marks, it was more like tractors and stuff. So okay, let's just see where we are. This is nice, isn't it? Again, look, very Sleepy Hollow around here, isn't it? Very weird. Yeah, so there you go, Hollywood. You know, contact me and I'll tell you where these places are because this is this is brilliant. Imagine, them driving a carriage down here being chased by a bloody, vampire, or Dracula.